If this story moved you, here's what you can do. Like, share, and comment. Raise awareness so global leaders can strengthen disaster response. Subscribe for more in-depth coverage of natural disasters and climate events in China. Stay informed. If you live in storm-prone areas, plan, know your evacuation routes, keep emergency kits ready, and support local flood resilience efforts. Our thoughts remain with those affected. Let this be more than a story. Let it be a catalyst for change. Wipha has awakened a critical question. Are our cities ready? Haikou is tropical paradise, but paradise is vulnerable. This storm exposed gaps in old drainage systems, warning protocols, and emergency shelters. To build resilience, experts urge upgrading infrastructure to handle floods of 500 millimeters in a day. Real-time stormwater monitoring linked to evacuation alerts. Community education drills, especially in flood-prone districts. Coastal defense expansion, including levees and restored wetlands. Other countries across Southeast Asia face similar threats. Lessons from Haikou can help coastal cities from Manila to Miami prepare for intensifying storms. China's central government quickly committed relief funds. Repairs are underway. Crews are clearing blocked culverts, reinforcing riverbanks, and repairing major bridges. Emergency shelter capacity has been expanded. Sports halls, community centers now house over 10,000 residents. The China Red Cross and community volunteers distribute food, water, and hygiene kits. Agriculture and fishing receive special attention. Temporary compensation offered, boats repaired, and seed drives organized to revive local livelihoods. Future steps. Officials have pledged a review of drainage systems. Efforts include expanding sponge city infrastructure, restoring mangroves along coasts, and creating buffer zones for rising sea levels. As floodwaters recede, secondary crises emerge. Water contamination, sewage overflow risks cholera and leptospirosis. Power outages. Thousands remain without electricity, requiring generators and emergency lighting. Landslides on Hainan slopes threaten neighborhoods in Wenchang and Tianguo town. Transportation disruptions, damaged bridges, washed away roads, and ferry delays hamper recovery and supply deliveries. Local clinics report rising cases of gastrointestinal illnesses and skin infections from flood exposure. The city is facing mental health concerns, especially among displaced families. Typhoon Wipha is not an isolated event. It's part of a growing pattern. Scientists link rising sea temperatures to intensified tropical storms. Wipha regained strength over warm waters before slamming Haikou. Experts warn that storms are becoming wetter. The South China Sea is recording unprecedented summer temperatures, feeding more moisture into storms. The result? Rainfall totals like 300 millimeters in a day, breaking records and overwhelming existing drainage infrastructure. Urbanization made things worse. City planners built over natural waterways with concrete and asphalt, offering floodwater nowhere to go. The sponge city concept has helped, but Wipha tested its limits. Studies from the China Meteorological Administration show a 40–50% rise in extreme rainfall events in southern China over the past 2 decades. Wipha is symptomatic, a brutal example of climate change meeting urban vulnerabilities. While Haikou bore the brunt, the rest of Hainan and Guangdong braced for impact. Rain clouds moved inland, dousing the rest of Hainan in 250 millimeters of rain, flooding rural areas and triggering landslides in Wenchang and Linggao counties. Up the coast, cities like Yangjiang, Zhanjiang, and Maoming in Guangdong recorded heavy downpours and flash flood warning. Authorities raised flood risk alerts for Guangdong, Guangxi, Hainan, and Fujian as heavy rain spread northward. Even Hong Kong felt the storm, with fallen trees, collapsed scaffolding, and evacuated shelters. As Wipha tracked toward Vietnam, emergency alerts were activated there as well. The storm's effects spanned from islands to mainland Asian nations, underscoring its massive scale. The moment Wipha's eye passed, rescue teams sprang into action. Provinces and municipal governments mobilized. Over 5,000 soldiers and police officers were deployed. Dozens of rescue boats patrolled flooded neighborhoods. Helicopters airlifted trapped families off rooftops. Teachers turned schools into emergency shelters for evacuees. Local official Xinhua News reported that authorities issued early morning evacuation orders for over 20,000 residents in flood-prone zones. However, many low-income families lacked private transport, leading to harrowing footage of shared boats and rubber dinghies ferrying groups of people, bags, and even pets. In one especially moving clip, a community leader guided elderly residents through chest-deep water to a shelter, warning, "Stay together. Don't let each other fall behind." A coalition of firefighters, paramedics, and volunteers worked through the night, battling swift water and broken sewage lines. Despite the chaos, the coordinated rescue is credited with preventing catastrophic fatalities. Still, the emotional toll is clear: exhausted faces, tear-streaked children, and gratitude intertwined with fear. Imagine waking up, stepping outside, and finding your city drowning. Not inch by inch, but within hours. That's exactly what happened when Typhoon Wipha crashed into Haikou, capital of Hainan Island, on Sunday, July 20th, 2025. Within hours, torrential rains exceeding 300 millimeters battered the city, turning roads into rivers and homes into islands. People were caught off guard. Emergency services scrambled. This wasn't some distant weather alert. It was real, raw, and happening right now. This is more than just another flash flood disaster. It's a wake-up call. Haikou is a modern coastal city, but this event proved how quickly nature can reclaim what we take for granted. Today, we'll take you inside the storm, exploring the damage, the rescue efforts, and the bigger picture behind this climate crisis. If this story moved you, here's what you can do. Like, share, and comment. Raise awareness so global leaders can strengthen disaster response. Subscribe for more in-depth coverage of natural disasters and climate events in China. Stay informed. If you live in storm-prone areas, plan, know your evacuation routes, keep emergency kits ready, and support local flood resilience efforts. Our thoughts remain with those affected. Let this be more than a story. Let it be a catalyst for change.